This was my first fiddle camp to teach at, as well as my first fiddle camp to go to. And I just kind of wanted to give you guys a glimpse into what it was like, what you can expect going to a camp. Now, of course, this is specifically talking about Fisher Fiddle Camp in Pennsylvania, but I also just want to give you kind of some of my thoughts about if you're thinking about going to a camp like this or just want to go to a camp in general, some things that might be helpful as you're preparing for that or looking for one to attend, and just talk about my experience with this specific camp because it was amazing. Idea what to expect going into this, and so you might be like me, you're like, I want to attend something like this, but I have no clue what to expect. So this camp went for 4 days. It was outside the whole time at this really beautiful property. They had a barn where classes were held, and then they had a fire pit area, and they had tents set up. They had classes on front porch, back porch of the house that was there, and so you had these different locations for the classes, but it still it was very close. You didn't have to walk far. At Fisher Fiddle Camp in Pennsylvania, the structure was pretty loose, but basically you would have classes starting at 9 a.m. and you could choose which class you wanted to go to. So they had a board that had a schedule, that would show you, okay, you have mandolin class happening here, you have improv happening here, you have guitar class happening here, and you would choose which class you wanted to go to in that time slot. And of course, you could move around. It's not like once you're in a class, you have to stay in that class. It's very free. If you go to a class and it's not your jam, then you can leave and you can go to another class. But there would be classes in the morning, and then in the lunch period, at this camp specifically, they had some of the instructors each day that would just kind of put on what they called a casual concert. So I'll put up a couple clips of that. that was really fun, just to be able to grab some food and sit and just watch, you know, great musicians play together. And it was super, super laid back, super casual. And then classes would continue for the afternoon, and there would be jam sessions that would break out between people, and then there was dinner, and then a lot of times in the evening they would have dancing, you know, square dancing. I think there was Celtic dancing one night, which was really fun, and then people would stick around and jam in the evenings. Gist of what this camp was. And it's, like I said, I mean, it's very free. Some people would come in the morning and then leave and then come back later. Some people would come and just stay until they were ready to leave, and then you can leave whenever, you can come back whenever. There were also classes where it would be a learn a tune. So I think they had those every single day. You could choose to go to a class where you could learn a tune, and so you would have all sorts of instruments coming together. You have an instructor who's teaching everyone a new tune, and it's all done by ear. So that is something that you might want to think about before going to something like this if you're not used to learning by ear. It was all by ear, and they teach you phrase by phrase how to play a tune, and by the end of it you're all playing together and you're all playing this new tune, and it was super fun. This camp had so many instruments. Not only were there fiddles and guitar players and banjo, but there were also a couple ukulele players. I saw some dulcimers. There was a harmonica class. There was vocal classes. There was even an accordion. There were lots of different instruments, which was really cool to see. But I'd say the majority of people either played the fiddle or the guitar or the mandolin. Probably those three would be the top three instruments that you're gonna see. I mean, of course, it's a bluegrass focused, old-time focused camp, so those are gonna be the three main instruments, and banjo, of course, as well. But one of the things I loved about it is that you didn't even have to go to a class if you didn't want to. You know, like, there were people that would just be practicing. You could just find kind of a little quiet corner and go practice your fiddle or go practice your mandolin, and I saw that all throughout the camp. I even did that sometimes. If you just want to practice something or rehearse something or prepare something, you can totally feel free to do that. And sometimes there may be people that come to join you, you know, so there's also that. But if you find a little cozy corner, you can practice, and you're gonna hear music the whole time. I mean, while I was there, you're hearing pretty much 24/7. You're gonna be hearing fiddles and you're gonna be hearing people playing, and that's just how it is, and it's super fun. There was a night where they had concerts for, again, more casual concerts where it was instructors playing, it was instructors and students playing, it was just people that had come to the camp. If you wanted to play something, you could sign up for the time slot and play. That was really fun. fun. And then the last day of the camp, they actually brought in bands to come and give concerts. One of the questions that I have gotten, or people have asked about this camp, is what age range of people were coming to the camp. And for this camp, it was all ages. There were kids there, there were people around my age there, and then there were also a lot of people, 40, 50 up. So, really, it was all ages, which I think was great too, because you just have all sorts of people coming together, and of course different skill levels and different ages playing together. I think at every camp, as far as the actual material that's taught, is going to be vastly different depending on who the instructors are. I taught, of course, some bluegrass mandolin classes, and most of them were more geared towards beginners, because that's mostly who was there. And so there was intermediate class one day, and then I taught some ear training stuff and some theory stuff, so that was fun. But as far as what was taught, there were guitar workshops and technique classes. There was, like I mentioned, some theory classes and ear training classes. There were classes on jam etiquette and learning the number system and breaking down roadmaps of bluegrass tunes, improv classes, and some of them were repeated as well. So if you missed one time, you could come back later and maybe hit that same class again. And then there were also jams that were official jams, that were scheduled, that were supervised by instructors or led by instructors. There were a couple old-time jams that were on the schedule, and then there was a bluegrass jam. And so those were really fun, and I would definitely say if there is a jam scheduled, then I would absolutely try to go to that, just because it's so fun. You learn so much, and you learn new tunes, and you get to play with other people. And that kind of brings me into what I think would be helpful for someone preparing to go to a camp like this, or if you're like, I really want to, I just don't know what to expect, and I don't feel like I'm at the level I need to be to go to something like this. I want to tell you, there were so many beginner musicians at this camp, and you can still learn a ton. I think if you come with a mindset that you're there to learn, and you come knowing that, yeah, there's gonna be things that go over your head. There may be things that you can't understand. There may be tunes that are moving too fast that you can't play along with, and that's okay. It's not just you. There will be other people that are in that same boat. But if you come willing and expecting to learn and just trying to take in as much information as you can and learn what you can, there's so many things that you can learn, even if you can't keep up with the playing side of things. And you still get the experience of getting to go and play with other people and be with other musicians and talk about your frustration in practicing, and talk with other people about how they practice and how they're learning, and what tools they've used, and talk about your instruments and your gear. And there's so many other things that you can talk about, and you can get encouragement from, or support other people with, or even just get inspiration. I think these things too, it's great when you are able to keep up and when you are able to play, but also if you're not, you can be inspired, and you can look at other players and try to watch their technique. How are they doing this? Or what does their tone sound like? Why does their tone sound like that? How are they able to do these things? And you can ask. That's a great thing too, is you can go up and you can ask people, you can talk to instructors, you just have one-on-one conversations with people, there were a lot of times after classes even where people would come and talk to the instructors if they had a question. And that's something that you can't replicate online. Sure, you can leave comments and people will answer, and there's live events that happen, but it's just not quite the same. There's no substitute for being able to sit across from somebody and actually watch them play. It's so different. You can see things way different, you can hear things way different, and you can see from all angles. it's better. That being said, if you're planning to go to something like this, I would definitely suggest that you get very, very familiar with your open chord shapes. Know your G chord, know your C chord, know your D chord. If you can get further than that, knowing an A chord, being able to play chords in the key of G, D, A, that's going to be so helpful for you. And something you may not realize, or maybe you do realize this, but you're probably going to be playing chords 80-90% of the time. Before going to something like this, know basic strumming patterns. Know your boom chuck for mandolin players. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Get really familiar with that. It's super basic. If there's one strumming pattern you need to know, it's boom chuck, and it's bass, chord, and then you kind of mute it. Bass, chord, and you could do that for the majority of songs. I'd also say it is very helpful to know some really basic traditional tunes, and I need to be better about this. I went into this, knowing some things, but I learned a whole bunch of other tunes, and now I'm trying to learn more, get more repertoire, get more songs under my fingers that I know. But I would say, and this is just from this camp, the tunes that we played the most would be know your chords for I'll Fly Away. I mean, everybody pretty much knows I'll Fly Away, so know that one. Will the Circle Be Unbroken, also one that we played a lot, so know the chords for that one. This one was new to me. It's a song called Bury Me Underneath the Willow Tree. I did not know it, but we played it so many times, and a lot of people asked if I knew that one, and I did not. So, and then, your basic fiddle tunes. Angeline the Baker is a really basic one. Soldier's Joy is a really basic one. Old Joe Clark is a really basic one. Those would be great to know. Whiskey Before Breakfast as well would be a good one to know. And if the melody is too difficult, at least learn the chords. I think not that you have to know these songs, but I do think you're gonna have a little bit of a better experience if you go into it already knowing some of these really basic songs, because that means when people are playing, you can just have fun playing along with a song that you already know. And the great thing is you can practice that just by yourself at home with YouTube these days. You can look up I'll Fly Away backing track and just sit there, play along with it. You can find videos of people playing online, play along with them. If you can get familiar with the number system a little bit as far as knowing what 1, 4, 5 are of people, because when we were learning tunes or in a jam session, normally there's going to be a person that's calling out the chords, and a lot of times it would be a number. So if you already know what your 1 chord is, your 4 chord, 5 chord, what that means, that will save you. That will save you. I know it can be very, very intimidating, but speaking from my own personal experience, even though I have played with a lot of people, leaving this camp, I felt so inspired to play music. I fell in love with music again. It's just, it makes it so much more fun than just sitting by yourself in your practice room playing with a video online or just playing by yourself. There's something so special about being able to actually play real music with real people. And a lot of my students that have either, found jam groups or started playing with people in person, even if they're not advanced, and that's the thing, I don't think you're ever gonna feel ready. You just do it anyway. So just do it, and my students that have done that have come back and said, I wish I would have started this sooner. This is amazing. I love this. I'm gonna keep doing this. I want to do this more. And that seems to be the general consensus. You're not gonna feel ready. It's gonna be intimidating. You're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna be nervous, and that's okay. Everyone else around you feels the same way, but you're gonna come away inspired. Hopefully you're gonna come away having learned some things and just having had fun and wanting to do it more. And the more you do it, the easier it gets, and the more fun it gets, and the more you wanna practice, because the better you get, and it's this great cycle. So I want to thank everyone that had me at Fisher Fiddle Camp. Thank you to everyone that came. If you happen to be watching this and you were in some of my classes, thank you guys so much. I had a blast. It was so great to meet so many of you. and actually get to see you face to face. And I'm so grateful that I was able to come, that I was invited to come teach mandolin. So thank you guys so much for watching. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments. If you were at Fisher Fiddle Camp, comment down below. And yeah, subscribe if you haven't already. Like this video so you can see more videos like this, all about mandolin, all about bluegrass, all about music. And I'll see you guys in my next video.